Getting a clear skin was one of my deepest desires in my 20s, and it took me so many failed attempts from visiting one dermatologist to another and from changing one skincare product to another. But the thing that really worked out was changing my lifestyle and working on regulating my nervous system. So, today I am going to share with you all how I healed my hormonal acne. And if you are someone who is struggling with hormonal acne, then watch this video and it will help you understand a few things about healing your hormonal acne. I used to get tiny breakouts during my teens. I used to have very oily skin back in the day. And then as I became a flight attendant, my lifestyle changed drastically. My eating timings, my sleeping timings were all affected. So I started getting those tiny breakouts. I visited a dermatologist and he put me on isotretinoin for a month, and he also prescribed a few topicals to apply. And after 1 year, the relapse happened. So this time around, I visited another dermatologist. So this dermatologist was primarily having a lot of his patients as flight attendants. He had put me on isotretinoin right away. He did not prescribe any topicals. He would literally prick my breakouts with a needle, and he would remove the pus out, and my skin will bleed. And it went on over a course of 6 months. And every time I would visit him, he would do it, and it was very painful. I would cry a lot. It would leave all those scab marks all over my face for a week or so. I did not want to go through that amount of pain every time, but I remember how badly I wanted to get rid of my acne. Now, for the reference, for those who don't know what isotretinoin is a retinoid and it's a derivative of vitamin A. It is used to treat a very severe form of acne only if your skin stops showing effective results after the use of antibacterial and topicals. That's the ideal approach when it comes to using this medicine. I did not even have the inflammatory acne at that time. They were not even red or inflamed, but the environment I was working in, especially as a flight attendant, I was supposed to be back to work as soon as possible. So his only approach was to prescribe isotretinoin to almost all his patients who were flight attendants. Now, here is the thing, not many dermatologists will tell you to make lifestyle changes, but now things seem to have changed a bit, and now I see a few dermatologists have started talking about making lifestyle changes before they put you on a pill like isotretinoin. So I was on that pill for 6 months, and then I came to know about the nasty side effects. I was not allowed to go in the sun. My skin became very dry. I also developed very flaky and dry lips, and I was not supposed to wax my skin. But the severe side effects were my major concern. I will talk about it in a different video. It was banned in a lot of countries in Europe. So I stopped taking that pill, and after 1 year, the relapse happened. My acne was back again. The same mild form of acne which I would get around the hot and humid weather. I did not want to go back to the same dermatologist because of his aggressive approach towards treating the acne. I started looking for skincare products, and I also started reading a lot about acne and stuff. I came across this website called acne.org, and that really helped me in understanding a lot of things when it comes to acne, from using the right kind of product, right kind of skincare and stuff like that. So I was spending a lot of my time reading and researching about all that stuff, and I was spending a lot of my money on skincare products. I went from using drugstore brands to high-end ones. I went from using the French pharmacy ones to Korean skincare products. I tried almost everything. Let me tell you, most of the skincare products fail to deliver what they promise. So now the market is flooded with all sorts of skincare products. Some work and some don't work. And it can be really exhausting from trying all sorts of products to finally be able to find what works for your skin. While I found a few products that really helped me with my mild form of acne, now at this point I started to get occasional hormonal acne. So now the things were getting serious because most hormonal and cystic acne leave those deep pitted scars. As I was becoming aware of all the things that could potentially lead to acne, I came across a few articles on how dairy could be a trigger for a lot of people, and also a diet rich in refined sugar. And I used to crave for a lot of desserts back then. Then I began to maintain a food diary, and I noticed that every time I would have dairy, I would break out. So I decided to ditch dairy for almost a year and a half. I started to avoid refined sugar, made a few lifestyle changes. My skin cleared out completely. I also came to know that I was lactose intolerant. There were times when I would go out with my friends and I would feel like having a slice of pizza. And then I would wake up with a big zit on my face the very next morning. So even with a very small amount of dairy or refined sugar, my skin was highly reactive to these two. So I remained on a plant-based diet for almost a year and a half. And then I moved to the UK for a while and I reintroduced dairy back into my diet. But this time I switched to organic dairy. And then surprisingly, my skin was doing fine on organic dairy. I was able to have a little bit of chai made with organic milk or have a little bit of milk before bedtime. And I was fine. But again, if I would eat a slice of pizza, which again was not made of organic dairy, my skin would again break out. What also changed by this point when I moved to UK, I was also able to sleep well. By this point, I had also resigned from my job as a flight attendant. So I was eating at the right time, I was sleeping at the right time, my body had enough time to rest and sleep. So all of these small things matter as well. And then the worst came. I came back to India, and within 6 months down the line, I lost my father. And from there on, the kind of acne that I got, it was one of the worst form of acne that I've ever had. It was so bad, painful. It was like my whole face was full of cystic hormonal acne, and it took me a year to put that into a complete remission. So now at this time, I was going through a lot of stress. I was very reactive to almost everything around me, my environment, people around me, and stuff like that. And what happens when we are living under stress for a very long time, it becomes chronic stress. Our body also moves from being in a parasympathetic nervous system to a sympathetic nervous system. But when your body remains in that sympathetic nervous system for a very long time, your cortisol levels remain high. Most people constantly live in that sympathetic nervous system and they don't even realize it until they start seeing changes in their overall well-being. For those who don't know much about sympathetic nervous system, let me say your sympathetic nervous system is responsible for your body's flight and fight response. It prepares us for dealing with stressful situations, and it helps us in making quick decisions when we are in any given situation that seems dangerous to our brain. Now, what happens is that when we are in that state of constant stress, your body produces a lot of cortisol. And when your body produces a lot of cortisol, you will have hormonal imbalance, inflammation, and so on. So all of that stress was finally showing up on my skin. And then I started my journey towards healing all that chronic stress that I was living under. I began to meditate and did things that actively made me feel relaxed, like yoga, meditation, practicing gratitude, writing down my thoughts, journaling, using affirmations and stuff like that. And slowly, my body started to live in that parasympathetic nervous system again. I saw the difference within a year. I was no longer using a lot of active skincare products because my skin was naturally radiant and glowing. My skin stopped reacting to dairy the way it used to. Now I can do fine even after having a whole pizza by myself. I also worked on my gut health and improving my relationship with food. And I use the same approach for helping my clients who have the similar issues with their skin, and the results speak for themselves. Too much of dairy and refined sugar, of course, affect the majority of people, but I also believe that most of the people can do just fine on a small amount of dairy if they work towards healing their gut and improving their relationship with food and work on their stress levels. So when it comes to healing my hormonal acne, this has been my biggest learning and my lesson. That's why it's important for you to do the inner work. Skincare products can do only a little for you, but the major thing is to heal your body from within. Know your triggers. Most of the people are living very stressful lives, but chronic stress and being in that sympathetic nervous system is not good for your body in the long run. You need to start finding ways to help you actively relax. Find time for yourself in the morning or in the evening. Do a little bit of meditation, be with your breath, journal your thoughts, and you will see a difference. Thank you for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed watching this video and learned a few things about healing your hormonal acne from my journey of hormonal acne. If you like watching such videos, you're gonna find a lot more videos coming up on the similar topics in the coming days. So yeah, thank you for watching and I will see you soon.